Guys, welcome back to another episode. We're doing something a little bit different, aren't we always? I always feel like I'm saying that, to be honest. But today, we really are. I've been threatening to do a cheap, classic bike type of challenge, really, to see if I can get a bike running, get a bike on the road for around about £500, because I see a lot of you in the comments say, oh, you know, bikes are very expensive, you know, it's thousands for a decent classic bike, it's silly money, you know, can we do something even cheaper? So I answered your prayers, and today this is the bike. It's cost me a grand sum of £250. Yes, that's correct, £250. Yes, it's old, 1982, so it's tax and MOT exempt. A lot of you will be going, 1982, that's not old. Well, we're over the 40-year mark now, which means we are exempt from those things such as MOTs and tax, and more importantly, ULEZ, because I, unfortunately, am in the ULEZ zone. So this bike covers all of those bases. And I think 1982 is getting up there, to be fair. Hall & Oates were at the top of the charts with Man Eater at the time. That will just give you an idea of how long ago that was, because I think we forget sometimes that these bikes have had a life before we see them again. You sort of forget, you sort of think, oh wow, yeah, I mean, that was knocking about. I mean, this bike was out riding about before I was even born. So, enough of all that waffle anyway. I'm excited. We have already had one of these on the channel. If you haven't seen it, I've done a series called Trading Up. It's basically where I start with a £100 motorcycle and I trade my way up to a £10,000 motorcycle. So if you haven't seen that, check it out. But anyway, we've already done one of these, but this is the more upgraded version of that bike, because I had a lot of interest in that little bike actually before I sold it as part of the Trading Up. So I thought, you know what, as a starter classic, this is an ideal bike because, as we already know, MOT, tax exempt, ULEZ exempt, blah, blah, blah. But it's a Honda as well, so well built. And it's shaft drive as well, so easier to maintain, another big plus point. So if you are just beginning your life in the classic motorcycle scene, then this is an ideal bike for you. And a lot of people cafe racer these. I don't think they look great cafe racered, but there are a lot of them out there. I think that's enough waffle. Let me show you what I have purchased for the grand sum of £250. It looks a little bit rougher than it is at the moment because the fairings have been taken off, the seats off. That's how the bike came to me, and I'll tell you the story about it. Da-da-da. Oh my word, what's he bought? What has he bought now? What monstrosity has Ben bought now? Well, there you go. It is another CX500, but the Euro Sport. So we get a rear disc. We get upgraded forks at the front. I mean, we've got it all. I mean, this is slightly upgraded version to the CX I had before, also known as the Euro Sport. But this bike has not been on the road since 1999. It has been stuck literally in a barn at a school since then. It has not turned a wheel in all that time, but it has been undercover all that time. The whole point of this bike was for the engineering department, because at the time they had sort of an engineering course running, and they basically wanted this bike to show students how shaft drive worked. But this bike was never used. It sat there for absolutely years, since the late 90s, and hasn't moved. And I was lucky enough to come across this bike. As you can see, all the dust, all the grime from where it's just been sitting indoors. We've got the original tax disc on there still from 1999. I know it looks worse than what it is at the moment, but it does definitely look worse than what it is, because it is a very straight bike, in fairness. But it hasn't run in a long time, so we need to do a few pre-flight checks first, just to make sure that she will run. So I'm not going to drag it out for ages. I'm going to tell you a little bit more about the bike. It's covered 36,000 kilometres, so around about 22,000 miles, around about that. So not massive miles. I don't know where it was imported from. I've tried to do a little bit of looking into it, but all I have for it is the V5. That's it. Nothing else. Oh, and a receipt from Sainsbury's where somebody purchased some strawberry and cola laces in 1998. So it was obviously a connoisseur of fine foods. But I was never a big fan of the CX500, the plastic maggot as it's also known, but I'm growing to like them actually. I'm growing to like them more and more, especially this one, a low mileage bike. As I say, I've got all the plastics, the seat over there, but this is how it came to me. So I want you to see it, how it came to me, dust and all. So I've done no checks at this point, so what we need to do is we need to have a look under the tank, make sure it's not rusty under there. That's the first thing we need to do. But we've only got one key, so I'm hoping this key fits. And it does. I can smell stale fuel. But it looks pretty clean in there. I'm not going to try and start the bike off the tank today though, because I'm going to need to clean all that out first. So we will just go directly into the carb when we're at that point of checking that the bike can run. We've still got the old battery on there as well. That is an extremely old battery, so that will be dead as you like. I should have another one knocking about that we can use for the time being. But yeah, it's a really straight bike. I love the exhausts on there as well. They're in mint condition. It will clean up lovely. The indicator's fallen off on this side. It's still there, but hanging a little bit loose. I will give you a proper look around. But yeah, it's a relatively straight bike. I'm pleased with it, especially for that sort of money and the mileage and whatever else. But yes, how cheap can we get this bike on the road? Well, today I want to basically know if it will just turn over at the very least. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull the plugs, give them a clean, turn the bike over, just let oil circulate, check the oil first before we do that, because if we are able to get it running, then I won't be running it for long at all, because I need to do proper service on it and whatever else first. But yeah, I just want to know that it isn't seized and we haven't got a bike here with a knackered engine. So let's get to it. Okay, I've removed the plugs. I think somebody with roid rage put these on because they were so tight in there, it was ridiculous. So remove the plugs, they are really coked up. So yeah, they need a good clean first. Obviously we'll be changing all this, but we're just going to see if we can get it running today. I've changed the battery as well. There's the old battery. I haven't got exactly the right one, the right amperage and whatever else, but not the right size. So that's hanging on in there for dear life at the moment, but it is the right type of battery, just not the right size. So yeah, this old girl, I don't know where this is from or what date it was from, but there you go. That'll be one for the scrap man. So let's see if we can turn her over. We've taken the plugs out, so just to see if we have got a bit of, well, we're not seized for a start would be good, wouldn't it? So let's see if we've got power. We have got power. Excellent. Okay, well, we've got nothing else to do but turn the bike over for the first time since the late 90s. So fingers crossed. Oh, hello. Hello. Okay, well, we seem to have compression both sides, which is good, but obviously me putting my hand over it isn't going to give me much of an idea. Apart from that, there is a bit of compression there. So I think the next thing we can do is clean up the plugs. I will check the oil again. I mean, it's not good enough to run the bike on for a long while, but it's good enough just to start the bike. And I'm going to take the fuel line off from the tank and put some carb cleaner direct in there just to see if we can get some burble or something going with it. So leave that with me. Right, so plugs cleaned, back in, battery on, new battery, and I've taken the fuel hose from the tank into the carb off of the tank side, and I just filled it with carb cleaner. I mean, I could have checked for a spark before, but you know what, let's just give it a go. I think it's probably the best thing we can do. So we've got fuel, we've hopefully got a spark, we've got battery there, so As I say, if we do get much at all, I'm not going to be leaving it running for long at all. I just want to know if I'm wasting my time or not. Alright, probably didn't help me leaving the ignition on all that time as well, but there you go, isn't it? Alright, let's try. Oh, come on. Come on. Oh, don't tell me that's the best we've got. Alright, let's give it a bit more fuel. See how we get on with that. Well, maybe we should have checked for a spark first. But I'm thinking that carb is going to be absolutely stuffed full of nonsense. Okay, let's check for a spark then. Right, so I've checked the spark on both cylinders. We have a spark on both cylinders, which is good. Did look a little bit weak on the right side, so I have tightened up the HT lead on there as well, and that seems to improve things a bit. But yeah, these are items I would probably choose to change, but we'll give it another stab anyway. I think we need a bit more oomph from the battery. Alright, let's see if this helps matters. So we've got fuel going directly into the carb as well. Let's give the carb a bit of a tap. Oh. Well, that air filter isn't helping matters. Absolutely fallen apart into a million pieces. Looks like the original, and it smells actually quite bad. There you go. Right, let's give it another try. We've got a bit of air now, haven't we? Which is always nice. Right, let's give it another whirl. Oh, she's sounding more like she wants to play ball. Right, okay. We have done everything we can basically do at this point without taking all the tank off, taking all the airbox off, taking the carb off. So, everyone keep your fingers crossed. Oh, hello. 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 Oh, she sounds great as well. I'm happy with that today. I'm more than happy with that. That's all I wanted to hear. I just wanted to hear that the bike runs, and it does run. Oh, I'm so pleased. And it sounds great as well. It sounds great. Oh, I'm so pleased. It's a Honda after all, right? So it didn't take too much. So yes, we did have a bit of a loose HT lead on there, so we tightened that up. Put a new battery on the bike. We took the air filter out because that is absolutely fallen apart into bits, and it even says on here 1989. So that goes to show you when that was last changed, and that is just fallen apart totally in there. So I cleaned out the airbox from the bits that were in there, and fantastic news, absolutely fantastic news. So what do we need to do now? Well, we need to clean the carb. We'll change the plugs, give it an oil change, and I think it'll be pretty straightforward. But that's all I wanted to do today. I'm so pleased. I know it's ridiculous, 250 quid bike, I know, but It's been sitting there for years, and just a little bit of love. That's all. I mean, there was no major mechanical knowledge there at all to get this run. It's just very simple stuff which anyone can do, which is the whole point of me starting this cheap classic bike series. Was how cheap can we buy a bike for? How easy will it be, or how difficult will it be? Look, we've jumped over the first hurdle in, let's be honest, probably in the space of half an hour, 40 minutes, we got it running, if that, to be honest. I'm probably over-egging it a little bit there. But that's all there was. So what will we do in the next episode? Well, we're going to have to clean the carb and actually get it running properly after a service. But what we're going to do for the rest of the day with this, well, we're going to put the fairings back on and give it a clean up, just so I can show you how this bike is or could look a little bit further on down the line. But I'm over the moon with that alone. I'm just very, very pleased. It's the first time it's run in absolute years, and yeah, you got to enjoy that with me as well, which is great. I mean, it literally, yeah, there's a few things on the tank. As you can see, it's, yeah, the paint job isn't great on there, and needs a good clean up and a buff up, but we can do all that sort of stuff. But the whole point of this is it's going to be more of a survivor than a full restoration. We're just going to get it to a nice point where we can ride it, right? We're going to do the usual stuff of getting insurance quotes as well, and see how cheap we can insure a bike like this for, and how cheap can we run a classic motorcycle. Well, as you can tell, I'm very excited, but anyway, I think it's time we do the fun bit and start cleaning her up. Then I'll give you a proper look around the bike. But look, £250, this is what it gets you anyway. We're going to give it a bit of a clean up, and I'm going to put the fairings back on it, and then give you another walk around just to show you how much better it looks. Well, here she is with all the fairings back on. Well, I say they're back on, they're put on with a few bolts I've had lying about. I need to get a proper bolt kit for it, but it will do for the time being, and it will protect them from getting damaged or moved about too much. But there she is, all the plastics back on. I did actually restart the bike before I took off the battery, and it did fire straight up, which is fantastic. There you go. I know a few of you like to do the MOT checks on the bikes I get, but you're not going to get a lot of info on that one, I'm afraid, because there isn't any. It shows it up on the MOT site, but it's never shown to have an MOT at all. But there she is. What do you think, guys? Eh? £250. Look at that. 1999, 0699. That went out of date. Beautiful, eh? We can polish all this up as well. I mean, this is the whole point of this bike, right? It's not going to be a full restoration. It's going to be a ride and sort of restore as you go along, and do bits and bobs as you want to. You can see the Pro Link suspension there. This is all the upgrade for the Euro Sport model. Same with the front forks as well. The fairing has a larger tank. That was the whole point of the Euro Sport. There was quite a few changes actually, in fairness, for the Euro Sport, so it was a real upgrade of a bike. But yes, doesn't it look lovely? What do you think, guys? Let me know in the comments. Is this a bike you like, you're interested in, or would you rather me just say no, get rid of it now and not bother? I mean, I do like this bike, so as you can see, she just needs a good clean up. It's been stored inside all of its life. But look at those fork legs. The discs are all in great condition. We're going to have to change the pads, obviously, and the tyres and whatever else, but we'll get on to all that in a moment. But I just wanted to give you a walk around. Let me know what you think, guys. Right, there you go. A quick spruce up. We know she runs. Great news. So yes, we've got a few jobs to do, haven't we? So I'm going to have to tally up as well how much money we're going to have to spend on this bike, because we're going to need new tyres. We're going to have to get new pads back and front as well. Obviously we don't need to pay for an MOT, which is a great point, but that doesn't mean we can ride the bike to a substandard level. Just because you don't have to get an MOT, it really does not mean that. If anything, it means that you need to be more clued up on what the bike needs, instead of an MOT tester telling you. So this bike will be to an MOT standard anyway. There's no way I'm going to ride a bike that isn't. So we still have to do all that. So new tyres, back and front, new pads, clean the carb, new battery. We need a fairing bolt kit as well. You're only going to need new plugs, new air filter, mirrors, So yes, it's going to quickly tally up and we're going to be spending more money in parts than we have actually on the bike at that rate. But there you go, that's all part of it, isn't it, guys? So I hope you enjoyed this. I hope you like the idea of this. The whole point, as I said to you before, is to ride and restore. We're going to restore, not really, we're going to use it, have fun with it. And if we want to do little bits and bobs, that's what we're going to do as we go along, right? It's not all about stripping it down and getting it to perfect and then not using the bike again. The whole point is to use this bike. I can use it near me. It's ULEZ compliant. Fantastic. Well, it's not compliant, is it? But it's allowed to be because it's old. So there you go, guys. Please like and subscribe. And if you haven't liked this sort of content, then you'll like my other videos. I've got loads of other videos just like this. So check them out and like and subscribe. I'm trying to get to the 5,000 subs and I need your help to do that. So guys, as always, it's been an absolute pleasure. I'm glad you could come along on the ride with me for this one. A bike that hasn't ran since 1999. You got to enjoy that with me and I'm really pleased about that. So I'll see you in the next one.